So welcome back, guys, from the lunch and Zumba prayer. So now we're going to move on to our second speaker. And before inviting him, I would like to introduce a bit about him. We're going to be inviting Dr. Muhammad Nuruddin. And he got his PhD in structural engineering from SKK University, and he got his master's and bachelor's in science from Cairo University. And currently he is an assistant professor in SKKU Department of Civil and Structural Department. And he is serving as a technical reviewer for various international scientific journals. And he's also worked as a lead engineer in Samsung Engineering and Hyundai Heavy Industries for almost around 9 years. And he has been granted permission, ijaza, from highly profiled scholars from Egypt and Azhar University with authentic chain of narrations to the Messenger ﷺ. In ijaza in Quran recitation, teaching of Quran recitation, tajweed teaching, Quran tafsir, jurisprudence, creed, and books of hadith. His lecture will be basically divided into two sections, with the first section titled Hints about Leadership from the Islamic Perspective. And in the second section, he will talk about realistic realizations needed for the young Muslims to be ready for their task as leaders. So please welcome Dr. Muhammad Nuruddin.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh for the second time. First of all, I'm happy actually to be with you here. And I'm honored actually to be amongst you, the chapter of MSAC or MSAC here in Beirut. And in the same time, I'm happy to be with the people of Salam Nouri and MSAC as well. And actually, this is the first time for me to give lecture here in KAIST. And in the same time, I hope that we can, inshallah, during this two sessions, to have something new to know. And in the same time, we are going to just make kind of discussions for some particular points. So in the first place, this lecture is not going to be organized in a fashion that is addressing all the leadership points, but actually rather it will be something like giving some hints and tips about leadership in general from Islamic perspective or Islamic point of view, and we are going to have kind of discussions regarding some points of it. And actually this is not, actually it should be related to the Islamic point of view. I'm not going, because I'm not specialist actually in leadership training programs and so on. But what I have is some experiences and some, we can say, comments on what really the young Muslim leaders in general should know before going and indulging into any leadership positions. So this is something I found that it's more important than giving the typical way of leadership training points. So I hope, inshallah, within these two sessions to achieve our main goal. And let me start first with this, what we call it, the typical dealing with the leadership. Maybe from 3 or 4 weeks, I was thinking about what Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam did with different Sahaba, with different companions, in regard to giving them different tasks. And I found actually that we have different companions with different personalities, with different capacities. And you can find that some of them, he can speak well, and the other one actually cannot speak at all. But he can, for example, make jihad for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Other people, they are not outdoor persons. They are indoor persons. Means that they stay with the books. They can narrate the quotes and the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Other people, they are well-established scholars, jurists, fuqaha, and scholars, ulama. You will find that they have different personalities and they have different characters, but at the same time they are considered to be leaders in their fields. And this is actually something that was amazing me. For example, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when he appointed Abu Bakr ridwanullah alayhi, to take the lead in prayers, as an example. This is a hint from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam to the companions and also to the entire ummah that Abu Bakr is the appointed person for leadership after him. If you compare the personality of Abu Bakr, for example, with Umar ibn al-Khattab, you will find that almost totally different. Abu Bakr, ridwanullah alayhi, he is lenient person, easy to go person, and always speaks. And Abu Bakr generally, even in Arabic, they describe him as asif, means that he is so lenient and his tears are so close from his eyes, so that whenever he recites the Quran or lead the prayer or something, he is trembling. However, in the other hand, you will find Umar ibn Khattab, for example, the opposite. Totally opposite. You will find that he is a bit harsh, tough person. And in the same time, he is considered to be one of the great leaders of Islam. Look to these type, or look to the differences. One lenient person, and the other one is tough, if you want to say harsh, or not easy to go. Umar ibn Khattab was not easy to go person. He was very tough, especially when it comes to the truth, or al-haqq in general. But you will find that both of them were great leaders. Abu Bakr was a great leader for almost 2.5 years. He was leading the entire ummah for 2.5 years. And afterwards, Umar ibn al-Khattab led the entire ummah for maybe more than 10 years. And they were successful in their mission. That's the point. That whenever we are looking to the leadership in general, and this is something, as I said, I was thinking about it. We have different personalities. The point is, for example, that leaders should speak well. For example, this is for granted trait of the leader. But I found that not necessarily be the case or be the trait that should be for a leader. For example, Abu Dharr, one of the companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Once he approached Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and told him that, Ya Rasulullah, that I want a kind of leadership as you have given to other companions. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam gave some leadership positions for different Sahaba. So Abu Dharr came to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and he asked him for this. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam replied to him and said that, Ya Abu Dharr, innaka rajulun da'if. Oh Abu Dharr, you are a weak person. And he said to him, وَأُحِبُّ لَكَ مَا أُحِبُّهُ لِنَفْسِي. And I love for you what I love for myself. And then he said to him that this kind of leadership, especially the leadership of the ummah and so on, or leadership of the people, to be responsible for a group of people, especially this kind of task, it's not easy mission. And you are not the suitable person for it. However, Abu Dharr actually, he was one of the best narrators of Ahadith Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Okay? He was leader in this point. He was leader in this position. Okay? You can take the example of Abu Hurairah, for example. The same. Abu Hurairah was a person just staying with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, just to narrate whatever he was saying. This is his mission. This is his mission. What is the personality of Abu Hurairah, for example? We do not have the big picture about it. Definitely he doesn't have the personality of Umar ibn Khattab. But the leadership, or we can say the mission that he was concentrating upon and taking it, was delivering the message, delivering the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He's considered to be a leader.
in this field. You can find different, this is what we call it the human source allocation. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam pursued the human source allocation with the highest level. For example, when Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam appointed Amr ibn al-As and Khalid ibn al-Walid, they are those two Muslims, they considered to be newly embracing Islam or newly embraced Islam. And when you compare them with the old Sahaba, al-Muhajirun for example, or the old or Ansar, the helpers of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the old guys who really stood with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam firmly against the non-believer, you will find that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam gave or appointed Amr ibn al-As and Khalid ibn al-Walid the leadership position in the armies. Even some Sahaba, they were asking, why? This is not right. And even, look to this, even the level of Iman in the hearts of those people, those are people who are newly embracing Islam. We are not expecting from them to have this full conviction of Islam. Just they are embracing Islam maybe for other reasons, for many reasons. One of them, maybe Islam, they just want to admit or to embrace Islam, but Iman doesn't have or doesn't fill their hearts like other companions. But Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam appointed them for specific tasks, leading the army or leading the Muslim group in a battlefield, for example. This gives to us the meaning of the leadership in general, from my own point of view. That you have to know the person and his character in the first place, and then assigning to him a job or a task that is suitable for him. If he could succeed in this specific job or task, then he is a leader in this point. That's the main lesson that we can get from this kind of human source allocation of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam with the different Sahaba. And actually there are different names regarding this. I mean, different names of the Sahaba, of the companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Mu'adh ibn Jabal, for example, a companion of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam described him أعلم أمتي بالحلال والحرام. That he is the most knowledgeable person in my ummah, in the entire nation. This is what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said about halal and haram, about lawful and unlawful things. This is Mu'adh ibn Jabal. You will find Ubay ibn Ka'b. He was a leader, particular leader in Quran, in the recitation of the Quran, and leading the jama'at and leading the congregation and so on. That's important for us. If we are going to, this is the first hint. The first hint is know the people that they are around or they are surrounding you. Know their characters. And then specify a suitable task or job for them. Okay? Do not underestimate others. And do not say that he has no skills, no capabilities. No, this is not the right way at all. This is not the right at all. This is not the right way at all for judging people. Whenever you are going to take a leadership position and looking to the people around you. So this is maybe the first hint. The second hint let's go to what I have started with. I said that maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. I was searching about this, about the customized leadership. Actually, I found it in in 2012. There is a research by this person, not House or whatever, argues that there exists no best technique to lead. Look at this. An approach of leadership may succeed in one situation, but may be unsuccessful in another. And the vital assumption of this approach is that different organizations, situations, warrant different kinds of leadership styles. This is actually applies well to what I have said. That we cannot say this is the leader that can fit in every situation. This is not right at all. Okay? And this is what we have mentioned about the different human source allocation of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam for the people around him. Even I didn't mention about Sayyida Aisha. She was a scholar. She actually was narrating what she used to see from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and in the same time, now she is considered to be a narrator, muhadditha, and in the same time she was a jurist. Whenever she was asked about things related to fiqh, jurisprudence in general, she was considered to be a scholar or a kind of highly calibered scholars in this capacity. So not only male, but also female. Not only men, they are women. And this is what the story of Abu Dhar that we have mentioned. Okay. Okay. Let's go now to this point, which is the goal. And again, as I said, I'm going to talk about it from our levels. I mean that from the level that we are going to pursue in our realistic life. And whenever, actually I read many books about leadership and so on. And I found them, as I said, almost typical. Almost typical. And you will find that whenever there is a leadership program, for example, they are going to follow the same steps, the same workshop, guidelines and so on. But I found that there's something missed here. Even whenever I watch any lecture or speaker talking about leadership, you'll find that he's talking about level like here, and what we are facing is another level like here. So that's the main difference, that we want to be realistic and in the same time to expect what really the problems that is facing us, what are the obstacles that ahead of us, and how to overcome them. So from the very first beginning, we can start with the goal here, which is, there are some questions about this. Do you learn for money? And this is one question which is important. Why we learn, why we are staying at universities and the college and so on in order to have our certificate at the end. What is the main purpose for this? From your own point of view, and this is actually, as I said, these are not lectures. They are going to be sessions, discussion, okay? Two-way communication. So do not hesitate to say whatever you know, or at least what you feel regarding this issue, okay? And I wish that I can listen from you. Anyone can say anything? Do not look to me. Yes, okay, brother.
About the first question.
Loudly and slowly a bit, okay?
Yeah,
so that everyone can.
I will try my best.
Okay.
It's about the first question, that do you learn for money? So, but I think that it's 80% is okay. We are learning for money because we have to go for kasb halal.
Yes.
For kasb halal, we need some tools and some techniques. And for that, learning is one way to get that kind of tools and that kind of techniques and certificates. So it can be, I can say that one major motive for learning. And about the second question, that do you love what you do?
Yes.
For me, most of the time people are saying that why I'm doing this, for what I'm here. That's the kind of thing. It comes that they are not satisfied with the thing which they are doing at that time. So I think that there is something behind that they do not love.
Okay, so this is important now. That you said for the first one that maybe you are working for this or learning for 80% for having money in our hands, right? And for the second one, do you love what you do? I think that the summary that
it comes
to some extent.
some opposites.
Okay.
Because you don't love that thing,
Yes.
But you need